Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is your favorite show, Daily Calls, a show that addresses all your stock-related queries. So in case you have been having doubts about what to do in this market, which is very, very volatile, how to deal with the stocks in your portfolio, well, anything and everything you can ask on this special show. We will be joined by two market experts to guide you through all your stock-related queries. The WhatsApp number is flashing on your screens. This is where you can send us your queries. Don't forget to mention your name, your location, and your contact details when you send us your queries on this program. Also, you can alternatively use the YouTube platform where you're watching our show live on and use the comment section there also to send us your questions. Let's welcome our guest on board. We are joined by Nilesh Jain, Head and Vice President of Technicals and Derivatives Research at Centrum Broking, now with us on the show. Nilesh, warm welcome. Good to have you with us. Well, we've kick-started the FY26 on a rather somber note. There's a lot of nervousness ahead of Trump tariff talk, and tonight is when we finally get to see what exactly could be the impact of tariffs as far as India and Indian markets are concerned. But tell us technically, how do you see the markets at this point in time before we go ahead and take up the rest of the queries that are coming in from our viewers?
Very good afternoon to you, Sakshi. No doubt, yesterday we saw kind of an impact of panic selling in an intraday trade. And on the closing basis, the closing wasn't that great yesterday. Although the good part is that today we are witnessing a kind of a rebound. The Nifty index is making an attempt to cross 23,300 mark. Although at this level, we are not getting any confirmation of clarity on the market. So it's purely a kind of a pullback as of now. Till the time Nifty doesn't crosses about 23,500, it is better to stay away from taking any sort of aggressive long or short bet till the time we don't get any clarity. As of now, the range for the Nifty looks like 23,000 to 23,500. Tomorrow we'll be getting a weekly FN expiry for the Nifty, and the range is intact of 23,000 to 23,500. Whichever side it will break, we can expect another 200 to 300 point move in that particular direction. But at present, the risk and reward is slightly favorable for the long. So buy on decline should be the strategy. Stop loss should be placed below 23,150, and we can expect a pullback towards 23,400 to 23,450.
Okay, got that. So that's the overall market view. We'll keep coming back to this, Nilesh, and keep asking you also where are you advising strategies and buying ideas for investors. But let's look at some of the queries that are coming in. First up, we have this question from Mr. Manoj Bhai Kapadia. He says, Namaskar, क्या JSW Holding buy कर सकते हैं इस करंट भाव पर? JSW Holding की ये बात कर रहे हैं. यहाँ पर भी हम भाव देख लेते हैं कि किस लेवल्स पे अभी JSW Holdings का शेयर चल रहा है. खास तौर पर अगर देखा जाए तो ये काफ़ी एक्सपेंसिव शेयर माना जाएगा क्योंकि एक होल्डिंग कंपनी है पूरे ही JSW ग्रुप की. 23,934 के लेवल्स यहाँ पर देखने को मिल रहे हैं. और किस व्यू से ये खरीदना चाहते हैं, ट्रेडिंग है या फिर लॉन्ग टर्म का व्यू है, ये तो उन्होंने नहीं बताया है. लेकिन क्या स्टॉक में अभी आपको लगता है कि 23,900 के भाव पर भी क्या यहाँ खरीदारी बनती है? आज कुछ 2 से 2.5% तक का मूव है और पिछले एक महीने में ये स्टॉक ऑलरेडी 43% जंप हो चुका है. जब हमने सारा इंटरेस्ट देखा है पूरे JSW ग्रुप में, इसका इम्पैक्ट आपने JSW होल्डिंग्स पे भी देखा है. इतनी तेजी के बाद भी क्या इतने एक्सपेंसिव स्टॉक को यहाँ खरीदना चाहिए?
देखिए साक्षी, बिल्कुल ठीक कहा आपने. थोड़ा सा एक्सपेंसिव नजर आ रहा है क्योंकि काउंटर थोड़ा ओवरबॉट टेरिटरी में ट्रेड कर रहा है पिछले कुछ समय से, और स्ट्रक्चर इज नो डाउट पॉजिटिव, बट यहाँ पर रिस्क एंड रिवॉर्ड फेवरेबल नहीं है. अगर फ्रेश एंट्री लेनी है तो बेहतर होगा कि थोड़ा सा गिरावट आ जाने दीजिए, उसके बाद लीजिए. या तो फिर दूसरी अप्रोच ये हो सकती है कि आप इसे एक स्टैगर्ड वे में खरीदारी करके चल सकते हैं. अंडरटोन स्ट्रॉन्ग है और ऊपरी स्तरों पर 24,400 24,600 तक का मूव हमें देखने को मिल सकता है. बट ये पोजिशनल लिहाज से खरीदारी का व्यू अगर बना रहे तो उस लिहाज से ले सकते हैं. बट ट्रेडिंग के पर्सपेक्टिव से रिस्क एंड रिवॉर्ड फेवरेबल अभी नहीं है. बेहतर होगा कि थोड़ी सी डिप अगर मिलती है तो ही इसे लॉन्ग करें. 22,300 के आसपास का काफी स्ट्रॉन्ग सपोर्ट है, और पोजिशनल लिहाज से मेरे ख्याल से स्टॉक में पोटेंशियल है कि ये 25,000 तक के भी लेवल छूता हुआ नजर आ सकता है.
ओके, गॉट दैट. चलिए, यहाँ पर भी आपको उम्मीद पूरी स्ट्रैटेजी मिल गई है मनोज भाई कपाड़िया जी, और उम्मीद करते हैं कि आप इस हिसाब से ही आगे बढ़ेंगे जो राय आपके साथ शेयर की गई है. नेक्स्ट हमारे पास सवाल है मोहित यादव का, और ये लिखते हैं, नमस्ते, एलिकॉन इंजीनियरिंग पर सर आपका क्या व्यू है? अगले 3 साल के लिए क्या ये कंपनी में निवेश किया जा सकता है? एलिकॉन इंजीनियरिंग की बात कर रहे हैं, फटाफट से इस शेयर को भी देख लेते हैं कि किस लेवल्स पर अभी ये शेयर चल रहा है। और फिलहाल अगर आप देखें 449 पर है। आज हल्का सा मोमेंटम है इस स्टॉक में। एक महीने में 15-16% तक ये चल चुका है, लेकिन पिछले 6 महीने में जो बाजार में कंसोलिडेशन आया, अराउंड 30-35% तक का डिक्लाइन भी हमने देखा है। शुरुआत इसमें रिकवरी की शुरू हुई, मान सकते हैं मार्च के महीने में ही, जब बाजार में थोड़ा इंप्रूवमेंट आया, तब यहाँ थोड़ा सा इंप्रूवमेंट देखने को मिला है। एलिकॉन इंजीनियरिंग के स्टॉक को आप कैसे देखते हैं टेक्निकली, नीलेश जी?
देखिए, अगर लॉन्ग टर्म पर्सपेक्टिव है, 3 से 4 साल का नजरिया है, तो स्टॉक में हम एक रिवाइवल देख सकते हैं। हालांकि पिछले कुछ एक दिनों में एक गिरावट यहाँ पे जरूर देखने को मिली है। स्टॉक में काफी अच्छा करेक्शन हम कह सकते हैं वो देखने को मिल चुका है। लगभग 730 740 के हाइज बने थे इसमें अक्टूबर 2024 में, और उसके बाद पिछले 4 से 5 महीनों में स्टॉक में काफी अच्छा करेक्शन हम देख चुके हैं। तो इन लेवलों पर अगर फ्रेश खरीदारी के पर्सपेक्टिव से अगर व्यू बना के चल रहे हैं तो लॉन्ग पोजीशन बना के चल सकते हैं। 360 का एक स्ट्रिक्ट स्टॉप लॉस यहाँ पे रखना होगा, और 360 अगर ब्रेक नहीं करता है तो इस पर्टिकुलर काउंटर में पोटेंशियल है कि अगले 2 से 3 साल में ये फिर से 650 से 750 तक की टेरिटरी में जाता हुआ नजर आ सकता है। तो बिल्कुल थोड़ा सा पोजिशन लिहाज से खरीद के चल सकते हैं, बट स्ट्रिक्ट स्टॉप लॉस जरूर फॉलो करें।
ओके, ठीक है, चलिए उम्मीद करते हैं यहाँ पर भी आपको राय मिल गई है, इस हिसाब से आप आगे बढ़ें। नेक्स्ट हमारे पास ये क्वेश्चन आया है, और ये है अंकुर मोदी का क्वेश्चन। लिखते हैं, हाय साक्षी, हाउ आर यू डूइंग? आई एम वेरी वेल अंकुर, होप यू आर डूइंग वेल टू। ही वांट्स योर व्यूज नीलेश जी ऑन टू स्टॉक्स, वन इज बीकाजी फूड्स and the other one is Kims. Now at the current levels he wants to invest in these two companies, and both are from completely different sectors. Let's look at Bikaji Foods share, and remember in the first half of FY25 there was a lot of momentum in this stock, and after that it dwindled quite a bit. In the last 1 month there has been a sideways momentum on this also, but in the last 6 months the stock has actually given up about 25% odd or so as well. Bikaji Foods first, and then we'll go to Kims later.
So Sakshi, Bikaji Food, we have seen a gradual up move from the lower levels, and it is trading in a falling channel kind of a pattern. We did see some momentum yesterday as well, but that momentum got fizzled out today. So purely from a positional perspective, this particular stocks is no doubt looking attractive. It has a very strong support near about 600 to 620. So keeping that in mind, as a stop loss, one can go long in this particular counter. From a positional perspective, it has a potential to test 900 to 950, but one should have a time horizon of 1 year plus. But it's a good stock to be into, buy in a staggered manner, but follow stick stop loss as well. Now coming to Kims, Kims as well, if you see the stock is trading almost near to its all-time high levels. In fact, yesterday it has hit a new record high as well. So structure-wise looking strong, and we can expect a follow-up move towards 700 to 750 from a short to medium term perspective. Buy and decline should be the strategy in this particular stock. Keep a stop loss below 565, and yes, structure looks strong.
Okay, and the other one, that question is also coming in from Ankur only. He has also asked one follow-up question, but it's an important one, and it will really help all our viewers to also understand what's the way forward. His question is on Trump tariffs. Nilesh, he says that is there any impact on Trump tariffs that we can see on consumption story of India? Well, Ankur, of course, we are actually given to understand that there could be some tariff impact on the auto space, on the pharma space. There could be some negative impact on the IT pack as well. Of course, everything will get clearer tonight when the announcements are finally made as to which are the sectors that are vulnerable. But when it comes to the Indian consumption story, that's more dependent on Indian retail demand as well. That probably could not be, really impacted. Let's ask Nilesh what he really thinks. Nilesh, what do you think for those who are betting big on the consumption story of India? Should they be worried at all with the tariffs?
Well, Sakshi, you have summed up very well. You have rightly pointed out. So, consumption theme is unlikely to get impacted because the major focus will be on autos, metals, in fact, on IT as well. So, these are the sectors where India export, and these are likely to be getting affected if at all we see any tariff coming in. Now, coming back to consumption space, This is more sort of a domestic driven consumption. We are when we have our own demand itself, so that is unlikely to get impacted. Consumption story is also in flavor because given the kind of volatility we are witnessing, it acts as a kind of a defensive. So defensive being that as a theme, we expect this consumption story to continue, specifically in the stocks like Nestle, and also a couple of FMCG names like Tata Consumer, where we have already seen a good spurt today, United Spirit, UBL. In fact, all these stocks are looking attractive, and we can expect a follow-up to continue.
Okay, fair point. I hope, Ankur, this has answered your question well. Let's look at some of the other questions that are coming in on our WhatsApp as well. So let's take some questions from there now. Our first question from our WhatsApp is from Mohit from Ludhiana. Says, afternoon. Good afternoon to you also, Mohit. Hope you're doing well. His question is on Shipping Corporation of India. He has 1500 shares of this company at the rate of 39.4, and then he also got free shares of SCI Land and Assets, Shipping Corporation of India Land and Assets, and he can actually hold these both stocks for next 2 years. He wants your guidance here. Nilesh, how would you help Shipping Corporation of India and also Land and Assets? Both the stocks he has, free stocks for Shipping Corporation Land and Assets, and 1500 shares of SCI.
Well, SCI, if you just pull up previous 4-year chart, the stock has witnessed more sort of a consolidation. We haven't
Yeah.
seen any meaningful return in this particular stock. Specifically in last 2 years, we have seen a kind of a topping out pattern. So more consolidation, time-wise correction is likely to continue. So given from a short-term perspective, there could be possibility of a pullback towards 200 to 220. But one should have a positional view in this particular stock because in next 2 to 3 years we may see this particular counter moving towards 350 to 400 as well, but provided you should have a long term approach in this particular stock. Looks good to me from a positional perspective. One should keep a strict stop loss somewhere around 135. That's a major support in this particular stock, and keeping that in mind, one can hold the existing long position from a position perspective of 300 plus. Now coming to SCIL, that is land Shipping Corporation of Land and Assets. So this particular stock has been in a constant downtrend, and the structure is not looking that attractive. Any pullback might get sold into. So if you are already holding the long position and if you are making money, then I would suggest to exit on pullbacks near about 55 to 60. That's a good exit range. And if you want to stay put, then keep a stop loss somewhere around 43, and you can carry forward your position as well.
Okay, fair point. Let's take the next question then. This one is from, another question coming in from Dasaradhi from Vijayawada. He says, I want to know, is it the right time to buy PCBL, Philips Carbon Black, and Archean Chemicals Industries? I have a 1-year time horizon and I want to invest afresh in both these stocks, PCBL and Archean Chemicals. Is one better than the others, or can both be looked at for a 1-year perspective, Nilesh?
Well, as far as PCBL is concerned, that is looking very attractive. The chart structure is looking very good at present, and it has already given a good breakout from a kind of a falling wedge pattern on a daily time frame chart. So this particular stocks look good to me for a target price of 470 to 500 from short-term, medium-term perspective. One should keep a stop loss below 395. That is the immediate support. That is also
Okay.
a breakout level as well. So keeping that as a stop loss, one can stay put for upside target of 470 to 500. Now the other stocks, I'm not able to find it. Could you please spell it again?
Archean Chemicals, I'll just tell you the exact code also so that you can easily find that one. You will be able to, one second, ACI, if you look at ACI, then you will be able to spot Archean Chemicals
Right,
Industries,
right.
because right now
I
it's
got it.
trading at 530.
Absolutely. So 530 is the current market price, and the stock is not witnessing any sort of a clear trend as of now. It is more sort of a consolidation. So since there is no clear trend, it's an avoid, and I would prefer PCBL over ACI.
Okay, got that. So I hope this has helped you out, Dasradhi ji. Look at PCBL over Archean at this point in time. Next, we have this question from Gagandeep Singh from Pune. He wants to know, is it the right time to buy Ola Electric? Again, a very, very volatile story of the past. From the time it got listed, the stock has actually seen a lot of negative news flow impacting the stock price as well. And that's despite the company going on expanding, the stock had also slipped below IPO price and stayed there for a long time as well. I know, Nilesh, you will have very less charts for this one to really study. But from the data that you have, what would you advise for those looking at a fresh purchase at the current levels on Ola?
Right. So whatever data I have in front of me is clearly indicating the trend is going down, and the stock has witnessed a major correction from the all the way from 150 to currently 53 is the current market price. So given this kind of a sharp decline, there could be possibility of some relief rally or rebound from here. Purely from a trading perspective, there could be possibility of a pullback towards 60 to 65. So with a stop loss below 48, one can go long at current level. But given the kind of the fact that we know this particular counter has been extremely volatile, so follow stick stop loss in this particular stock at 48, and momentum can be played till the level of 60 to 65. We don't see any major up move in this particular counter. Any sort of V-shaped recovery is not visible as of now. But yes, gradual up move is something that can be seen. So purely from trading perspective, one can go long.
Okay, fair point. Let's take the next one then. This one is from Chandan Jain from Hubli in Karnataka. Chandan ji says, good afternoon Sakshi. I want to buy CDSL at the current market price. Please suggest. Good afternoon to you Chandan ji. Hope you're doing well. For sure, capital markets related stock, CDSL is something that you want to know. An erstwhile favorite, a wealth creator of the past as well. But again, it has also dwindled from its all-time highs in the recent correction. Nilesh ji, those who missed the previous rally, is it the right time to look at CDSL?
Absolutely. So we have already seen a good correction all the way from 1900 to currently it is at 1220. Recently, it made a low near about 1100 as well. So a good 100-point pullback we have seen from the lower levels, but still it is still available at a corrected price. So if somebody wants to take a long position, keeping in mind a horizon of 2 years to 3 years perspective, these are the very good levels. It's a good portfolio stock as well. SIP can be done, can be bought in a staggered manner as well as at lump sum. One can buy at current market price as well. So 1100 is a very strong support. That should be the stop loss of the long position. And a breakout above 1300 will open upside towards 1400 to 1500. And 1400 is that 200 day moving average. A break above 1400 will be considered as a short term bottom, and then we might see the levels of 1800 to 2000 as well.
Okay, fair point. Let's take another one then. This question is from one of our viewers, Satya CK. He says, I hold Chambal fertilizers and I am sitting on a 30% profit on this one. Congratulations to you, Satya, for sitting on profits on this one. And the second one he holds is Kaveri Seed Company. Again, here also he is sitting on profits. He wants to know what is the kind of upside that he can continue to play for in both Chambal as well as Kaveri Seeds. And in case the trend is reversing, should he switch from both these positions? Kaveri Seed and Chambal fertilizers for you, Nilesh ji.
Well, Sakshi, see, first of all, both the stocks are in a very strong uptrend. The structure is looking strong, and the fertilizer space as a whole is looking attractive from a short to medium term perspective as well. So, Chambal is a hold. I would suggest to stay put, keeping a trailing stop loss in order to protect the profit that he has already made. So, 580 should be the stop loss, and the momentum seems like it may extend towards 680 to 700 on the upside. So stay put as of now. Chambal looks good. KSEL, other stock, this particular counter is also looking strong. Although we have seen some profit taking from the high levels, but it still has a potential to test 1400 to 1500. A multi-year breakout was already seen earlier in the previous year. So given the kind of a breakout that we have already seen, from a positional perspective, 1600 to 1800 kind of levels can be seen from 2 years to 3 years perspective. One can keep a trailing stop loss at 1120 and yes, stay put in this particular stock as well.
Okay, fair point. I hope, Chandanji, this has also helped you out in understanding what exactly should you be doing at this point in time with these kind of stocks that you have asked. Let's actually look at some of the other questions that are coming in. We have this next question from Ankur, who says, please give your views on Vishal Megamart and Afcons Infra. Again, I think both of them have limited data points for Nilesh to really look at. Vishal Megamart currently is trading at 107, 108 odd levels today. There is a smart move, 4% uptick. Last 1 month odd or so, there has been about 6-7% of a move on this one. And when we look at the kind of move that we have been seeing right from December, 101, it's actually been sideways, not too much of move on the higher side. Vishal Megamart for you, Nilesh, would you be able to advise on this one?
See, out of these two stock, in fact, I have very limited data in both the stock. But
Yeah.
VMM, that's the Vishal Mega Mart, is comparatively looking better because we have seen a good base formation in this particular counter. 100 is a very strong support as of now. Multiple attempts have been made to break the same,
Yeah.
but it has defended quite well the level of 100. So that should be the stop loss, and we can expect a kind of a pullback move towards 115 to 120. So this particular counter looks good over Afcons. So Afcon, in fact, is witnessing more sort of a consolidation. So clear trend is not visible in this particular stock, but still, I would say if already bought, then keep a stop loss at 460, and a break above 490 will open upside towards 520 to 540.
Okay, fair point. Let's actually get back to the markets in the meanwhile, and then we'll get back to the questions. First up, of course, on the Nifty, there is a 121 points of an uptake. So we are gradually moving higher, 23,286, and we're moving closer to 23,300 now. What's pulling the index higher is the real estate space. Remember, this was the hard hit sector yesterday. Today, it's recovering most of its losses of yesterday, 2.6% higher. Consumer durables is up by 1.4%. That's another theme that's buzzing. Broader markets also showing us some strength, almost 1% up for mid caps. You also have the banks, even the IT pack supporting. Now, barring the oil and gas sector, rest all of the sectors have moved up into the green. Even the India VIX has slipped now, 1.3 odd levels, and therefore you see some comfort coming back to the street at this point in time. Nilesh, I have to ask you on. Let's ask about a few sectors. First up, real estate. What do you make of this kind of volatility that we are seeing here?
See, ahead of RBI policy, I think focus should be on real estate because consensus are saying that there could be possibility of a rate cut. So that will be a biggest beneficiary would be real estate space as a whole, NBFC secondary and financial as a whole. So overall, real estate, given the kind of move that we are witnessing today, it seems like there is a possibility of a strong rebound in this particular sector. So we are pretty bullish on realty pack as a whole,
Okay.
specifically in the stocks like Godrej Properties that is looking attractive today. It has formed a good bullish reversal formation.
Sure.
So we can expect a follow move towards 2180 to 2250 with a stop loss below 2080. Godrej Properties is a buy. Nifty Realty Pack as a whole is looking attractive to me. And apart from that, other sector as mentioned, PSU banking space, NBFC and financial as a whole should be in focus.
Okay, fair point. So those are the pockets that could be in focus. I want to ask you about one more theme, and that's consumption that we were discussing, but not direct FMCG or the consumer durable, maybe even consumer durables you can include, but stocks within the gems and the jewelry space. Kalyan Jewelers is up and about again in trade today. We've been seeing gold prices again soaring to record high levels. How are you looking at the gold related stocks at this point? Would you go with financiers? Like you said, you're positive on financials, Muthoot or a Manappuram, or would you go with Titan or a Kalyan at this point?
See, better comfort is coming in the financing stocks, specifically stocks like Manappuram, Muthoot, given the kind of move that we have seen already in the gold. So it's not advisable to chase stocks like Kalyan Jewellers, Senco Gold. So these are not the stocks where we are focusing on as of now. The focus should be on financing stocks. So Manappuram Finance, we have already seen a good momentum. The stock recently hit a new record high. Now we are witnessing some consolidation. So that's a healthy sign. Before we see any leg on the upside, there could be possibility of some amount of accumulation happening in this particular stock. So Manappuram is a buy, but buy on dip. It has a support at 215. So there's still some more room left on the lower side. So better wait for some dip before you getting in this particular counter. Positionally, this stock has a potential to test 260 to 280 on the upside. Similar with the Muthoot Finance as well, and this stock can be bought on dips for upside target of 2500. and stop loss should be placed at 2220.
Okay, and 23,300 is upon us on the Nifty yet again, 133 points higher. So we are slowly and gradually building up the momentum. Do you think this will carry on? Should one hold on to their long positions, Nilesh, on Nifty?
We are likely to see impact tomorrow. The news will be out tomorrow evening mostly. So
Yeah,
we may see another leg on the upside as far as Nifty and Nifty is concerned, at least till tomorrow morning.
yeah,
And the major event, I think, has already been priced into after yesterday's fall that we have already seen. So
sure.
today are witnessing an attempt to recoup its previous day's loss, and 23,350 to 23,400, these are the levels as mentioned earlier that we are expecting Nifty may test from today or tomorrow's point of view. With a stop loss below 23,150, long position can be held, and buy on decline can be the strategy as of now. So purely from this week's perspective, one should focus on levels, keep a stick stop loss because volatility is likely to increase, and as of now at present the risk and reward looks favorable for the long.
Okay, fair point. Well, Nilesh, we will thank you then on that note to helping us and our viewers understand the right strategies in the markets and solving our queries of our viewers as well. We hope you have a great time till the time we see you next. Always appreciate your presence with us on daily calls. Thank you so much for
Thank
being with us.
Thank you,
All
Sakshi. Thank
right. Thank you. All right, viewers, we will now welcome another guest who will be with us to solve all your rest of your queries. We have Jatin Geria joining in, technical research analyst at Mirae Asset Share Khan. Warm welcome, Jatin, and thank you so much for joining in. We were discussing with Nilesh just now whether he believes that this momentum that we are seeing in the markets can carry on. But do you think everything hinges on what gets announced tonight on Trump tariffs, and therefore we have to be very, very cautious with our current positions?
Yes, see, first of all, good morning, good afternoon. What we believe is that I think, yes, the overnight risk is already there. Everybody in the market knows about it. So, what I would suggest is that if someone is holding long, then he can, hedge his longs by buying some puts. So that is the way in which we are suggesting to our clients that even if you are holding long positions or in case you are holding shorts, then you'll have to buy some calls. So either ways, you have to hedge yourself. There is some knee-jerk reaction in tomorrow's trading session. Then you are covered on both the sides. So that is how we are suggesting our clients to play out this event or uncertainty that is there in the market. So hedge your positions. That is the way in which you can play out this event carefully.
Okay, hedge your positions. That's the advice that's being given. Jatin, we have a lot of queries coming in, so we'll start taking some of those questions too for you. First up, it is Kalpesh Patel from Mumbai writing in. I have a short on April futures for KEI Industries. 2,830 is the level at which he has short, and he wants to know whether a level of 2,500 and 2,600 can be seen on the downside for this one.
See, on the stock KEI Industries today, it has tested the previous swing low of 2750, and there again it has witnessed a bounce back. So I believe that some kind of a double bottom pattern is in process of formation. So I think
Okay.
current levels are good levels to exit the short positions.
Exit the short positions at this point in time. Hope, Kalpesh, you have really got that answer right. Right now there is an exiting on the short position kind of a strategy that's being recommended to you. Next, we have this question from Gul. She says, hi, I have Wipro shares purchased at 295. I have this for a long term horizon, 1 to 2 years, and the second one is BEL. I bought this at 277 again for 1 to 2 years. Now I want to know what is the view on both Wipro and BEL, and can I add more on both these stocks? Again, in a very, very volatile zone for Wipro, and BEL of course is reacting to its not being able to meet the order flow guidance of March by March of 2025 FY25, and they have fallen short of that target, and from yesterday we have been seeing some kind of a pressure build up on BEL. What would you say on both Wipro and BEL?
See, first I'll take up BEL. So in the case of BEL, the chart structure is still positive. Yes, the stock has reacted negatively today. However, if I see the overall structure, the structure is still bullish. I'm expecting the levels of 265 to 268 to be tested during this phase of correction. However, I believe that the overall structure is still positive, so she should continue to hold BEL. On the upside, we are expecting levels of 340 to 361 from a medium term perspective. For her, adding at current dip around 265 to 268 is suggested. In the case of Wipro, I believe the overall the IT stocks have witnessed a decent amount of correction. In the case of Wipro, the stock has corrected around 20 odd percent from its all-time high. So I think there is a decent correction from the all-time highs and current levels. One can consider averaging because it's a crucial support level, and I'm expecting a pullback towards 290 to 300 in the short term. So yes, averaging is suggested.
Okay, fair point. I hope this has really helped you out in understanding what your strategy should be on your positions. Let's take the next one. In fact, before taking the question, I want to just bring in one aspect for all our viewers to see. Retail story is really picking up very well today. If you see, we were talking about how consumer durables are up by about almost 2% today, 1.5% higher. But what's also in the consumption basket getting highlighted is the retail story. Look at bazaar style retail. There's a 16% uptick today on this one. V-Mart retail also about what 9 odd percent higher in trade. Remember, Trent was the one that was moving in the last few days as well, and now the entire pack seems to be taking its chance. Just wanted to get a sense here, Jatin. Remember 1st of April when the budget announcements have started to kick in, we were all keeping our hopes that the consumption story will start to fire when finally people get more money in the hands, and that has started to happen from this new financial year. 1st of April onwards, they will be less tax outgo from the common people of India. Up to 12.75 lakhs of income becomes tax free completely, and therefore people have more money to spend. Do you think that will go into retail? Is that a theme to really look at now?
See, I think this income tax cut that was announced in the budget and definitely has a positive impact on the consumption stocks. And even if we look at some of the FMCG names, I think there is a decent opportunity out there. Yes, these stocks have corrected, and post that we are witnessing a resumption of the up move from the recent lows. So I think there is still more steam left in some of these stocks. Among these stocks, I believe that DMart has a decent upside even from current levels, and if someone is holding, then he should continue to hold. I think on the upside, we are expecting 4600 from a short to medium term perspective. 3800 should be kept as a stop loss if someone is going long at current level. So DMart is a preferred pick in this space.
Fair point. You know, V2 Retail has also come out with its business update, and you can see the standalone revenues for Q4 FY25. There's being an indication of 499 odd crores versus a 296 crores last year same quarter. So a 69% growth on a year-on-year basis is what is being seen in the business updates that are coming in, and therefore you see for V2 Retail, V-Mart, Vishal Mega Mart, Trent, all of these bazaar style retail, all of them are actually up and about, probably bullish on the upcoming earning season and how Q4 has really panned out. Remember, this was also a space where a lot of wedding related shopping, and festivities related shopping has also undergone. So maybe that could be a trigger for the earnings that have just gone by. Let's go back to some of our questions that are coming in for you, Jatin. We have this question from Jeenal Shah. She is from Gujarat and wants to know, is it the right time to buy TCS for next 2 to 3 years? What will be the target price also, if you could advise on this one?
See, I think these IT stocks are extremely beaten down. In the case of TCS, it has corrected from 4600 to 3600. So that's a decent amount of 25% kind of a cut from all time high. So yes, it's a decent buy at current levels. And yes, from a 2 to 3 year kind of a horizon, I think start accumulating at current levels. If I have to give levels from a medium term perspective, then I think the initial resistance or the initial target area on the upside is around 4,000, and one should definitely keep a stop loss just in case things don't turn out our way. Then 33 3,300 is the level below which she should exit the long positions if she is taking at current level. So 3,300 should be kept as a stop loss, and a medium term target on the upside is 4,000.
Okay, fair point. I hope this has helped you out. The next one is from one of our viewers. Satya Narayan from Hyderabad says, I want to know your views on E2E Networks. I purchased this stock at 2000 levels. I want to know, should I hold or exit? Are there any kind of news flows that I should be aware of on this stock? Any negativity that I should be aware of as well? What is the reason behind continuous decline on this stock? What would you advise? E2E Networks. Let's quickly look at the current price of E2E Networks, and currently the stock is at 2015 odd levels. And when we look at the stretched charts, 1 month stock has moved up 7%, 6 months it has given up 36% of its move. In the last 1 year, however, the stock had been continuously going up from April of 2024 last year to almost November of 2024. It continued to soar pretty sharply higher from 932 odd levels to over 5,300 levels as well. From that time, again in the recent, so this is exactly coinciding with the market fall that has occurred from November all up to now. The stock has nearly halved. What would you say on this one, and what would be the suggestion on this one, Jatin?
See, in the case of E2E, what we are seeing is that a 68% decline from the levels of around 5,500 to 1760. So I think this stock is definitely weak, and during this rise that we have seen in in the month of March, this stock has not performed well. So I believe that this recent up move that the stock is providing should be considered as an exit opportunity. I think this stock has corrected around 70 odd percent, so that's a decent amount of fall, and it shows only bearishness or weakness those who are holding it. So I think definitely a get out from this stock even at current levels.
Okay, let's look at the next one. This one is from one of our viewers on our YouTube, Vinod Chaudhary. Hi, Vinod, how are you? He says, I want to know about JG Chemicals. Could you please ask multiple entry levels on JG Chemicals for the next 2 to 4 years? I already hold some of the stocks at 300 levels. I want to know whether the stock is fundamentally and technically both good, and could you please guide me on the multiple levels to keep averaging this stock. Okay, in the last 1 year the stock has moved up 69% viewers, although in the last 6 months there has been a decline of 13-14 odd percent. Last 1 month there has been a recovery of sorts. 8.5% of a move is what we have seen on JG Chemicals. Jatin.
Yeah, see, in the case of JG Chemicals, I think the stock is currently trading around the or has witnessed a pullback from the levels of around 300. So, around that 300 level, we have multiple support parameters or swing low where the stock has been bouncing off. So, I think 300 are the levels which should be kept on the radar, and she should or the investor should keep on adding around the levels of 280 to 268.
Okay.
So this support zone is the multiple entry points that she is asking, and on the upside, the immediate upside that I am seeing on the charts is around 380 odd levels to 390 zone where the previous swing high is placed. So I think 368 to 380 is the entry zone, and on the upside resistance is around 390, around 390 to 400.
Okay, fair point. Let's take the next one. Okay, this question is from Vinu P. He wants to know, can I buy Power Grid and BEL at the current levels. I want to know for short-term investment. Power Grid and BEL. For short-term, that means trading perspective he wants to know. Is it good or a positional trading?
Yeah, see, in the case of the power grid, the structure is still positive. Since last 3 to 4 trading sessions, we are witnessing some amount of consolidation, and from a short-term perspective, say for 1 to 2 weeks, we can expect a decent upside towards 305 to 308 odd levels, and the stop loss for this long position should be kept at 279. So that is the trade for power grid.
Okay, got that. BL?
That is Piramal Enterprise.
No, Bharat Electronics, BEL.
Yeah, see, in the case of BEL, as I suggested earlier, I am expecting a dip towards 268 to 265. So current levels, no fresh entry is suggested, but at support around 268 to 265, she should consider go long in BEL.
Okay, fair point. Let's take another question. This one is from again one of our viewers, Jinal. She wants to know on Jyothy Labs also. What's your view here on Jyothy Labs, Jatin?
Yeah, see, in the case of Jyothy Labs, the stock is in the process of forming a bottom for itself. 320, 310 is a very crucial support. I think the stock has undergone 50% correction from its all-time high. So yes, current formation should take some amount of time before it resumes its uptrend. If she is holding on, then she should continue to hold. On the upside, immediately what we are expecting is 385 to 390 odd levels, which coincides with the weekly averages. So current levels she should continue to hold with a stop loss of 312.
Okay, fair point. Right, Jatin, now before we let you go, I need to ask you, what are you really looking at? Any key stocks that or ideas that you have researched in the recent times, in the recent recovery in the markets that we have been looking at? What is it that gives you the confidence to add afresh or accumulate any kind of stocks or sectors that you are bullish on right now?
See, what we have witnessed in this recent up move that the private sector banks have been the outperforming sector. And among that, I think ICICI Bank is trading at all-time highs. And apart from that, Kotak Mahindra Bank is also trading, has given a breakout of 3.5 years of consolidation. So I think among the banking sector, we are liking ICICI Bank and Kotak Bank from the frontline space. So these are the two stocks that I have on my radar. And
Okay,
from
all
here,
right.
the stocks are likely to continue to outperform.
Okay, fair point. Well, Jatin, then we will thank you on that note for being with us on the show today and for helping all our viewers out in terms of identifying the right stocks, advising them on their queries too. We are still holding up above 23,290 odd levels, 125 points higher, but hopefully this improves for the better. But remember, as most of our guests are pointing out, viewers, tonight when the decision really comes in on tariffs, that's when probably this one unknown will be out of the way and we'll finally get to see whether there is something to really worry or is the worst already priced in into the markets, and the markets may actually start to look forward to upcoming earnings and other triggers, and probably the central bank measures as well as far as rates are concerned, and move on from the tariff related tantrums that the markets are witnessing. With that, viewers, we wrap up this special edition on daily calls. In case there were some questions we could not take up today, you can send us all your queries tomorrow. We'll be back with another set of experts to guide you through all your stock related queries. Stay tuned and keep sending all your questions on the WhatsApp number flashing on your screens.
Warm welcome to you on Market Today at Business Today Television. I'm your